Welcome to an episode of Friday 15. I'm excited for you to be here today, and we are actually talking about the book, Living the Artist's Way. With my backdrop, I'm sorry. I'm like
Look,
fading away,
here's
but the
mine.
book, there you go. All right. So, Summer has hers, and we are just having a snapshot of a conversation around the introduction of this book. We plan to come back and share some of our insights with the Friday 15. So we're talking about this is the second of the artist's way. So she started out with the artist's way, and now she is living the artist's way. So we're excited to kind of dive into what's the difference between the two. It has really been quite a growth process for me with live with just the artist's way. It's really changed the dynamic of my morning routine just simply from writing, even though truthfully this Friday I did not even start out writing today. So it's so funny to have this, and then today is the day I didn't write yet. Okay, so Summer, what are your thoughts about, this journey that we're taking, diving into this part 2, so to speak, of Artist Way? What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are it is a book that has really helped me. The artist way in general really helped me a lot. And when you say morning pages to people, it's almost like you're speaking a secret language to someone,
Mhm.
because people who do the morning pages understand what that means and they understand how it has creatively helped them and it's helped them to be even more productive, apparently, in some circumstances. But this book, Living the Artist Way, is 30 years after her writing The Artist Way. And it is amazing. Not only does it cover, another, in addition to the first three um, essential tools that she taught about in the artist way, but in this book, she adds a fourth essential tool. So she suggests that using these tools together, they have helped people creatively become unblocked, be happier, be more productive. And for me, that is the truth. I started
Mhm.
this a couple of years ago, this journey, and in the first book, The Artist Way, the three tools that she talked about were the morning pages, which is first thing in the morning, you get up and you write 3 pages longhand on notebook paper, um, just the first thoughts that come out of your mind.
Mhm.
And if you can't think of anything to write, you just start writing, I can't think of what to write, just to keep that going, that habit. I think that's what that's about. And I have done that before, actually. And then the other is the artist date, which is once a week to go on a date by yourself, or not to be expensive or time consuming, but it's just something that you do. You block out time for yourself. For example, watch a documentary by yourself, or watch a movie by yourself, or go to a museum by yourself. That kind of idea. I think that's more for inspiration than anything else, and that seems to come
Mhm.
up in your head as you go along. And then the third essential tool from the first book are walks, where
Mhm.
she suggests that you take at least 2 walks a week for about 20 minutes each. And it's a solo walk, so it's no phone,
Mhm.
no dogs. It's really just a chance for you to be with yourself and nature, or whatever is around you, wherever you are. So those are the first three tools in the first book. And then this book, we're talking about writing for guidance. Guidance is a big word in this book, and that's going to be considered the fourth essential tool. So, what do you think, Lachelle, so
Well,
far?
I love it. I have gotten to this point, because we had our first discussion, which we do talk about this journey on Clubhouse. Actually have a space where we have people come in and discuss this journey with us, going through living the artist way. And it was really profound how we had someone speak about the morning pages being a catalyst to kind of get out all of these negative thoughts to make way for the more clear and creative and innovative type of thinking that sometimes is buried underneath our negative thoughts. So I thought that was a very unique concept. But when I started the morning pages, I never really dealt with a lot of negative thoughts. I'm kind of like maybe 6 or 7 years into my own self development journey after 13 years of depression. And one of the things that I have done to maintain this type of mindset is really limit some of the negative input into my mindset. So I don't watch the news, I don't really watch TV or listen to the radio. I really am intentional about the spaces that I show up as or show up to, so that I can pretty much guard that mindset of positivity. So when I started doing my morning pages, they were not really like getting over limiting beliefs, but I like the concept of stretching to where your guidance pages are even more intentional and clear. So if it's a goal, for example, of something you want to do in 30 days, like, we have the pancreatic cancer walk that's coming up. If you're thinking about how do I want to raise money or how do I want to grow my team, that's something that I would think would go into my guidance pages.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we have been on a journey, as a family to expand and grow. And I'm a pancreatic cancer survivor. And thank you, Lachelle, for participating in the walk with me. Really appreciate that, by the way. And that's been a journey in itself. That's on April 27th, and we are excited to do that and to help other people. And that's as a result of writing and trying to find out, where am I supposed to be, or what is it that I can do. Those are questions that I ask in my morning pages, and
Mhm.
and the answers seem to come up. So it's almost like they work hand in hand, even though they're not the same. The artist pages and the morning pages and guidance.
Mhm.
Um, I did go to a webinar that she did, that Julia Cameron did, the author, and she explained that they are separate, but that some people use them together. In their morning pages, they use that as guidance pages, which are, you know, when you're just asking questions in general, like, what about this or what about that? And you just keep asking those questions. Well, why not ask on the page, what about this? And I
Mhm.
love what she writes in here about this. And it talks about, over time working with our guidance, we become increasingly cooperative. Talks about all that you're asked to do is come with an open mind when
Mhm.
you're doing this, and that we're led in positive directions, the precise directions the universe intends. And it she also talks about how we we come to kind of depend on that time. Really, we don't. If you think about it, a lot of people don't give themselves enough time to even ask questions. They just are going in the direction of whatever that day, you know, leads you. And with my morning pages and my guidance pages, I find that it gives me a sense of direction, helps me to prioritize, where and what I need to be focused on, because, my focus is on, making the most out of every day, especially after what I've been through. I don't want to waste,
Mhm.
a day or a moment, really.
Mhm.
Enjoy the time that we've had just talking about it. And I think that that's another thing that I've gained in doing something like this, is that the sense of community means so much, and
Mhm.
that it helps to be able to do this book as a group as we've been doing it, because I learned so much more from everybody else, right? What do you
Mhm.
think?
I love it, and I like the way the book is written, because you feel like, you're just inside of her diary or something, or,
Mm-hmm.
just like her journal. But it's just really talking about how easy and simple it is
Mhm.
to kind of have this mindset, but it does take you being intentional and consistent. I do like the fact of even there was a part, and I had underlined it, where she was talking about a friend of hers. And she says, he recently became vegan as his guidance directed. Obedient, he reports feeling greater energy and his weight is dropping a few welcome pounds. An excellent cook, he tailors his menus to guidance. The change in diet is working out well, he reports.
Mhm.
Now, again, a lot of times we get caught up in what somebody else is doing and we miss the opportunity of really hearing our own voice. I know that was my story dealing with depression. I was trying to find everybody else's blueprint and take a note here and a note there, really not being true to myself. I was just trying to compare or be another version of somebody else instead of really listening to my own voice. And so I
Mhm.
love how she just outlines that something as simple as what her friend chose or decided not to eat anymore, how
Mhm.
it really was working for him. Right. And there's a lot of times that we feel intimidated to listen to our own voice. And I think that writing allows you to be present with yourself and with your thoughts and take action on it and build your own confidence.
Totally agree on that. And, I mean, something as an example, when I first started writing, we were talking about a house, right?
Hmm.
And we're talking about should we move or should we stay? And I really wanted some place that was, all on one level, not a lot of stairs, every day, that
Hmm.
kind of thing. I mean, and then we started to talk about it more because I was writing about it. Almost
Hmm.
like it was surfacing because I was writing about it. Obviously, it was something that was bothering me, but I didn't even really realize that until I
Hmm.
started writing about it. And here we are, 2 point how many months later, and we are moving. It was, I'd like to say unexpected, but it was expected, right? I mean,
Hmm.
when you're writing about this, and then I'm even asking still, is this still the right thing to do? I mean, I was writing about it in the last
Yeah.
couple of days, and we close in a couple of weeks. And I wrote down this morning all of, and how everything synchronizes together. Like,
Hmm.
we're reading another book that talked about, signs and wonders and different things.
Yeah.
So, of course, I look for things like that. I mean, I'm always kind of on the lookout, and something catches my eye, I write it down, you know,
Right.
and then I might write about it tomorrow. But like, for example, when I first walked out the door when we were going over for the inspection, I walked out the door and the most beautiful purple iris, right where it's not supposed to grow, when I step off the porch, was in bloom, and it was the only one in bloom, which
Wow.
that's kind of important to me and my family, the iris. And then we go over to the new house, and there's like 50 irises all in bloom in the front yard. Not to mention the fact that when we were leaving, I found a little Lego, right?
Hmm.
Which would be no big deal, except that it was a purple Lego, which, purple being a big color for us, right? And then when I looked it up this morning, because, I kept thinking, how silly is that? But they don't have kids, which maybe
Wow.
somebody dropped it that was visiting them or something. But I looked up the word Lego this morning just to see, like, how did that name get started? Actually, I'll tell you. And then, because I think that's a good way to start this book, is
Okay.
the name of Lego and how it got started, if I can find it. All right. So it was by a man in Denmark. Can't find it, but I can remember the story. And he said that the meaning of the word that he had is called "let's go," like let's do this,
Mm.
right?
Right.
And so, I mean, anybody else would have said that's a Lego on the piece of ground. I kept saying, "Are we supposed to do this? Are we supposed to do this?" I mean, we're down to
Right.
like signing the papers, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I am always looking for that confirmation, and I'm getting it all the time as I'm writing for guidance.
Okay.
So I have a lot more great experiences with writing morning pages, and I'm looking forward to writing about or writing for guidance even more, and doing it with you, Lachelle. Thank you for
I
being here
love
this
this.
morning.
I love
Mhm.
this. Well, that is our 15 minutes, guys. So we're going to be back next Friday with more Friday 15 with Living the Artist Way. So you guys have an amazing weekend. Bye for now.